Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks or loud declarations. More often, it slips into our lives quietly, revealed not in the words someone says, but in the small, almost unnoticeable things they do. When a man is truly falling for you, he doesn't always come right out and admit it. Instead, his heart leaks through in gestures so subtle you could miss them if you weren't paying attention. But those little moves, they tell the real story. The story of a man whose feelings run deeper than he dares to confess. Think about it. Anyone can say, "I like you." Those 3 words are easy, even casual. But when a man goes out of his way to remember the tiniest detail you mentioned weeks ago, when he shifts his steps so he's walking closest to the street, or when he cancels other plans just to be near you, that isn't casual. That's affection, in action. That's love before it has found the courage to name itself. The beauty of these subtle moves lies in their honesty. They're not rehearsed or calculated, they slip out naturally, almost instinctively. He might not even realize he's doing them, but you will. You'll notice how his eyes linger a moment too long, how he mirrors your words without thinking, how he gets a little nervous in your presence even though he's confident around everyone else. These small signs are like puzzle pieces that, when put together, paint a picture clearer than any confession could. And the truth is, these gestures often mean more than grand romantic speeches. Words can be empty, actions rarely are. When he listens to you intently, introduces you to the people who matter most to him, or opens up about his fears, he's building something that can't be faked. Trust. He's telling you, you matter. I want you to be part of my world. That kind of sincerity is priceless because it comes from a place deeper than surface attraction. Every woman has wondered at some point, is he really into me, or am I imagining it? The answer often hides in these little moves. They may seem ordinary on the surface, but together they reveal a pattern of devotion that's hard to miss once you know what to look for. A man can pretend with words, but his instincts, his quiet choices, his consistent presence, will always give him away. This is why understanding these subtle moves matters. They give you clarity, they protect you from doubt, and they help you recognize when someone's heart is leaning toward yours. These are not dramatic declarations. They're the small, steady whispers of love. And often, those whispers speak louder than any grand gesture ever could. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore 15 of these subtle but powerful signs, each one a window into a man's true feelings. Pay attention, because in the end, it's the little things that reveal the biggest truth. When a man is completely falling for you, his love won't just be said, it will be shown. He maintains longer eye contact. There's something powerful about the way a man looks at you when his feelings run deeper than words. Eye contact can be ordinary in casual conversation, but when a man is falling for you, it becomes charged with meaning. His gaze lingers a little longer than usual, as if he's afraid to look away and miss something about you. It's not just about attraction, it's about connection. Those extra seconds carry emotions he might not yet know how to voice, a silent confession that slips through his eyes before his lips can catch up. When he maintains longer eye contact, it often feels different from the glances you're used to. There's intensity in it, but also warmth. You may notice that in crowded rooms, his eyes find you and hold on to you as if the rest of the world fades. That lock of attention tells you that in that moment you are his focus. Even if he quickly looks away afterward, the softness in his gaze lingers, leaving you with the undeniable sense that you matter to him more than he dares to admit. Sometimes, this kind of eye contact can make you feel exposed, almost like he's looking past the surface and seeing the real you. That's because, to him, you're not just another face. There's depth in the way he observes, as though every look is an attempt to memorize you. This unspoken language can stir emotions in both of you, creating a rhythm of intimacy without any words exchanged. It's in those moments that you realize eye contact isn't just a habit. It's a window, and when he keeps that window open longer, he's letting you glimpse what's inside his heart. It's subtle, but it's real. The look of someone who is quietly, completely falling for you. He finds excuses to be near you. When a man is falling for you, he often doesn't come out and say it right away. Instead, he lets his actions speak. And one of the clearest signs is how he always manages to be near you. It might seem casual at first. He just happens to show up where you are, or he lingers a little longer after everyone else has left. But beneath those coincidences is a quiet desire to be close. Being near you gives him comfort, and even if he's not saying anything, your presence alone makes him feel lighter. You'll notice he volunteers to help with small things that don't really require his effort, like carrying something for you, walking you out, or offering to tag along when you run errands. These little gestures aren't about convenience. They're excuses to share more moments with you, no matter how ordinary they seem. To him, even the simplest interaction feels meaningful. He might lean against the same counter you're standing at, take the seat next to you instead of across the room, or wander into your space under the pretense of needing something. All of these are ways of quietly carving out more time with you. And when he's near, it's not just physical closeness. It's the subtle way his body angles toward yours, how he listens more intently, how he laughs more easily. What makes it so telling is that he doesn't always need a reason to be there. Sometimes, just being in your orbit is enough. His presence says what his words might not yet, that he values your company, that he feels drawn to you, and that being close to you is where he feels most at ease. It's in these small, seemingly unimportant choices that his true feelings begin to reveal themselves. He remembers small details about you. One of the most telling signs that a man is falling for you is in the way he remembers the little things you say. Most people forget casual comments, but when he's invested, every detail feels important. You might mention your favorite coffee order once, and the next time you meet, he brings it without asking. Or you might talk about a stressful meeting at work, and later he checks in to ask how it went. These moments might seem small, but they reveal how carefully he listens when you speak. Remembering small details is his way of showing that you matter to him. It's not just about the big milestones or obvious facts, like your birthday or where you work, but about the subtle things that make you who you are. He'll recall the name of your childhood pet, the book you said you wanted to read, or how you take your tea. To him, these pieces of information are treasures, and he stores them away because they bring him closer to understanding you. This kind of attention goes beyond politeness. It's intimacy in practice. When he repeats something you mentioned weeks ago, it shows he was paying attention even when you didn't think he was. It tells you that your words don't just pass through his mind, they stay, because you matter enough for him to hold on to them. What makes this so powerful is how effortless it feels. He doesn't have to study or force himself to remember. He recalls naturally because when you speak, his focus is on you alone. That's the difference between someone being polite and someone being deeply interested. The smallest details become evidence of his growing affection, quiet proof that his heart is paying attention even before his words admit it. He mirrors your gestures. And words, when someone begins to mirror you, it's rarely a coincidence. A man who's falling for you unconsciously starts reflecting your gestures, posture, and even the words you use. If you cross your arms, moments later, you might notice him doing the same. When you take a sip of your drink, his hand moves toward his glass without him realizing it. These little echoes of your movements are signs of deep rapport, a body language signal that he feels connected and aligned with you. It doesn't stop at gestures. His words begin to mirror yours too. He picks up on your phrases, the way you laugh, or the expressions you use. Maybe you say something unique and weeks later you hear it in his sentences. This kind of mirroring isn't imitation, it's instinct. It's his way of syncing with you, showing without words that he's tuned into your rhythm. The beauty of this behavior is how subtle it is. Most of the time, neither of you notice it happening in the moment. But when you look back, you realize his body leaned when yours did. His smile arrived right after yours, and his language softened to match your tone. It's a dance without choreography, guided by something deeper than thought. What makes this powerful is that it reveals his comfort and attraction without him saying a single word. Mirroring is one of the mind's quiet ways of saying, I feel close to you. I want to connect with you. I want to belong where you are. When he reflects you so naturally, It's his heart showing you what his lips may not be ready to confess. 5. He prioritizes your happiness. When a man begins to prioritize your happiness over his own, it's a subtle but undeniable sign that his feelings for you run deep. You'll notice it in the little choices he makes, like giving up his favorite restaurant to take you to the one you've been craving, or adjusting his schedule so he can be there when you need him. These aren't grand gestures meant for applause. They're quiet sacrifices, the kind that reveal you've become a central part of his world. Sometimes it's in the way he checks in on you after a long day, even when he's exhausted himself. Other times, it's how he listens to your worries and tries to ease them, even if it means putting aside his own concerns. He might step back from something he wants just to make sure you're comfortable or happy. To him, your joy becomes his reward, your smile the outcome he's chasing. What makes this powerful is that it's not forced. He doesn't tally up what he's given versus what he's received. Instead, it feels natural because your happiness has started to matter as much, if not more, than his own. It's not about losing himself, but about finding joy in seeing you thrive. When a man consistently chooses your comfort, your peace, and your happiness, even in small, almost invisible ways, it's a reflection of love in its purest form. Without saying it outright, his actions tell you, your heart is my priority. He gets nervous when you're around. There's a special kind of nervousness that shows up when a man is falling for you, and it's different from ordinary shyness. Around others, he might seem confident, relaxed, even playful. But when it's just you, his energy shifts. His words may stumble, his hands fidget, or he might laugh at himself for no reason. It's not that he doesn't know how to act. It's that your presence matters so much that he doesn't want to get it wrong. You'll catch it in the little things. Maybe his voice changes slightly when he speaks to you, softer or more careful. Maybe he touches his hair, straightens his shirt, or adjusts his posture when you enter the room. Sometimes he avoids eye contact because holding your gaze makes his heartbeat race, and other times he holds it too long because he forgets to look away. The contradiction is what gives him away, trying to look calm while his body betrays the truth. This nervousness doesn't come from fear, it comes from admiration. He feels something strong, something bigger than he can hide, and it spills out in stammers, awkward pauses, or a sudden blush on his face. In those moments, it's as if his heart is ahead of his words, and his body is scrambling to catch up. What makes it endearing is that he probably doesn't even realize how obvious it is. He's not nervous because he doubts himself. He's nervous because he sees you as someone who matters deeply. And sometimes that nervous energy is the most honest confession of all. Long before he says the words, his unsteady hands and restless movements whisper the truth. You make him feel something real. He introduces you to his close friends. When a man is falling for you, one of the clearest signs is when he begins weaving you into his inner circle. Friends are the people he trusts, the ones who have seen him at his best and his worst, and introducing you to them is never casual. It means you're not just someone he enjoys spending time with. You're someone he's proud of, someone he wants the most important people in his life to know. The moment he invites you to meet his close friends, he's opening a door into a side of his world that's personal. He's saying without words, you belong in my life, not just on the edges of it. It's a quiet form of commitment, a way of showing that you're more than a passing phase. He wants his friends to like you, but more than that, he wants you to feel at ease among them because he sees you as part of his future. You'll notice how different his energy becomes in those settings. He might glance at you often, checking if you're comfortable, eager for you to laugh with his friends, and relieved when they warm up to you. In subtle ways, he'll bridge the gap between you and them, sharing stories, including you in inside jokes, making sure you're not left out of the conversation. It's his way of tying two worlds together, hoping they'll blend seamlessly. This step isn't about formality. It's about pride and vulnerability. Friends see through facades, and he knows that. By bringing you to them, he's allowing them to see how he feels, trusting that his affection will be obvious. It's one of the quiet but powerful ways he says, you matter to me enough to meet the people who matter to me. 2. He listens to you attentively. When a man is truly falling for you, listening becomes more than just hearing words. It becomes his way of connecting with you on a deeper level. He doesn't just nod absent-mindedly or wait for his turn to speak. He leans in, maintains eye contact, and gives you his full presence. In those moments, you can feel the difference. The room could be noisy, his phone could be buzzing, but as you, attention anchors itself to you as if nothing else matters. You'll notice the little signs, the way he remembers not just the main point but the small details you mention, the way he asks follow-up questions that show he was paying attention, or how he circles back days later to check on something you casually brought up. This kind of listening is rare. It's intentional, thoughtful, and filled with quiet affection. Sometimes it's in his silence. He doesn't rush to interrupt, doesn't brush off your feelings, but allows you the space to finish every thought. Other times, it's in his reactions, his eyes widening at your excitement, his smile forming when you share something joyful, or his tone softening when you reveal something painful. He's not just collecting information, he's tuning into your emotions, trying to understand the world from your perspective. What makes this powerful is how it makes you feel. Being listened to attentively tells you that your voice matters, that your feelings carry weight. It's a subtle way of showing respect and love without declaring it outright. Long before he confesses how much he cares, his attentiveness whispers it. Because when a man listens like that, it's never just about the words, it's about you. He tries to impress you. Subtly, when a man is falling for you, he doesn't always make grand, dramatic gestures to win your attention. More often it shows up in the subtle ways he tries to impress you, the little efforts designed to catch your eye without making it obvious. He might casually mention an accomplishment, not to brag, but hoping you'll see him as capable and strong. Or he'll go out of his way to solve a small problem for you, wanting you to notice that he can be reliable. You might see it in the way he adjusts his appearance when he knows he'll be around you, fixing his hair, choosing a nicer shirt, wearing the cologne he thinks you'll like. These aren't random habits, they're quiet choices made with you in mind. Sometimes it's in the way he volunteers his skills, offering to cook for you, help fix something, or share knowledge on a topic, just so you'll see him as valuable and resourceful. What makes these efforts stand out is their softness. He's not showing off for the world, he's showing off for you. He doesn't need the crowd's approval, only yours. And often he'll play it cool, pretending it doesn't matter, even though every move is carefully designed to spark your smile or your admiration. The beauty of these subtle attempts is that they reveal how much your opinion matters to him. A man who isn't invested won't go out of his way to impress you, but one who's falling will find countless little ways to prove himself. Without words, his actions say, "I want to be the kind of man you can look at with pride." And sometimes those quiet gestures speak louder than any declaration of love. 10. He makes time for you. No matter what. When a man is truly falling for you, time becomes his most valuable gift, and he offers it freely. No matter how busy his schedule is, he finds ways to carve out space for you. It might mean staying up so later just to talk, waking up earlier to see you before work, or rearranging plans so he can be present when you need him. These choices may seem small on the surface, but they reveal where his priorities really lie. You'll notice he doesn't treat spending time with you as an obligation. It's not about checking a box, it's about wanting to be there. Even in the middle of a packed day, he'll send a quick message or call to remind you that you matter. When deadlines pile up or responsibilities weigh on him, he still makes an effort, because the thought of you slipping into second place doesn't sit right with him. Sometimes it's in the way he chooses your company over distractions. He'll skip a night out with friends if he knows you've had a rough day. He'll show up at events he might not normally attend, just because you're there. And when he is with you, he's present, phone down, eyes on you, attention undivided. This consistency is what sets him apart. Anyone can give you scraps of time when it's convenient, but a man who's falling makes time even when it's inconvenient. It's his way of saying, without needing to spell it out, "You're important. You matter more than my excuses." Love doesn't always arrive in grand speeches or perfect timing. Sometimes it shows up in the simple, steady rhythm of someone who keeps choosing you day after day, no matter what else competes for his attention. He gets protective. Without realizing it, there's a certain instinct that slips through when a man is falling for you, and it often shows in how protective he becomes without even realizing it. It's not the loud, possessive kind of protection. It's quiet, natural, and almost unconscious. When you're walking together, he'll shift slightly to the side closest to the street. In a crowded room, he'll keep an eye on where you are, making sure you're comfortable and not overwhelmed. If someone speaks harshly to you, his body tenses before his mind even registers it. What makes this so telling is that he doesn't need to announce it. He doesn't say, "I'm looking out for you." His actions reveal it all. He'll check if you made it home safely, offer his jacket if you're cold, or step in to carry something heavy without waiting to be asked. These little moments might seem ordinary, but they're powerful signals of how much he values your well-being. Even in conversation, you'll see it. If you're uncomfortable, he'll redirect the topic. If you're nervous, he'll try to lighten the mood. And when you share your struggles, he listens not only with empathy, but with a quiet determination to shield you from more pain. It's his way of saying, "I care too much to stand by and do nothing." This protectiveness doesn't come from control, it comes from love. It's the instinct of someone whose heart is tied to yours, someone who feels your safety and comfort as if it were his own, and often he may not even realize how obvious it is. But to you, it becomes clear. In the way he steps closer, the way his eyes scan a room, the way his tone sharpens when someone disrespects you. His feelings are written in every protective move he makes. 12. He values your opinions. Deeply, when a man is truly falling for you, your voice begins to carry a special weight in his life. Decisions that he might once have made alone suddenly feel incomplete without your perspective. He asks what you think, not just out of politeness, but because your opinion matters to him on a deeper level. It could be something small, like which shirt looks better on him, or something significant, like a career choice or a financial decision. The common thread is that he trusts your judgment and sees you as someone whose insight adds value to his world. You'll notice the sincerity in how he asks. He doesn't brush off your answers or treat them as background noise. Instead, he listens carefully, nodding, considering your words as if they could shift his entire outlook. Sometimes he may even surprise you by remembering things you've said before and applying them later, showing that your influence lingers long after the conversation ends. It's not just about advice, it's about respect. When he values your opinions, he's showing that he sees you as an equal, someone capable of shaping the path he takes. He wants you to feel included in his world, not as a bystander, but as a partner. Even if he doesn't always agree, he makes sure you know your voice was heard and considered. What makes this so powerful is that it reflects both admiration and vulnerability. By asking for your thoughts, he's opening himself up, admitting that he doesn't have all the answers and that your wisdom matters to him. And in those moments, his affection becomes clear. He doesn't just want you in his heart. He wants you in his decisions, his plans, and his future. He compliments you in unexpected ways. When a man is falling for you, his compliments go beyond the surface-level remarks you might hear from others. Of course, he may tell you that you're beautiful, but what really stands out are the unexpected ways he notices and admires you. He compliments the little things, the way your laugh fills a room, the way your ideas spark energy in a conversation, or the way you show kindness when no one else is watching. These aren't rehearsed lines. They're genuine observations that reveal how closely he pays attention to who you are. You might be surprised when he points out something you didn't even realize about yourself. Maybe it's the way your eyes light up when you talk about a passion, or how you manage to stay calm in stressful situations. He notices details most people overlook, and when he mentions them, it catches you off guard because it feels so personal, so real. His words aren't just about appearance. They're about character, presence, and the subtle traits that make you uniquely you. Sometimes the timing makes these compliments even more powerful. He may whisper one when you're doubting yourself, reminding you of your strength. Or he might blurt one out in a casual moment, when you're not dressed up or trying to impress. proving that his admiration isn't tied to how you look, it's tied to who you are. What makes these unexpected compliments so meaningful is that they reveal the depth of his affection. He doesn't see you in passing, he sees you in layers. His words show that he's not just infatuated with an image of you, he's drawn to the real you, the parts of yourself you may not even think are noticeable. And when a man loves those details, it's a sure sign his feelings run deep. Sure. He opens up about his vulnerabilities. When a man begins to open up about his vulnerabilities, it's one of the clearest signs that his feelings for you are genuine and deep. Many men are taught to hide their fears, their insecurities, and the softer parts of themselves. But when he's falling for you, those walls begin to lower. He doesn't just show you the polished version of himself. He lets you see the cracks, the uncertainties, and the moments when he doesn't have it all together. You might notice it first in small confessions. He admits when he's nervous about something, or he shares a story from his past that carries pain. Then it deepens. He lets you in on the struggles he doesn't tell others, the worries that keep him up at night, or the dreams he's afraid to chase in case he fails. These conversations aren't casual, they're acts of trust. With every admission, he's silently saying, "I believe you won't use this against me. I believe you'll still see me as enough." This vulnerability is powerful because it shows he's no longer trying to impress you with only strength and confidence. Instead, he's inviting you into his truth, showing that he wants to be real with you, even if it means risking rejection. He trusts that your presence is safe enough for his honesty, and when he opens up like this, he's not just asking for sympathy, he's asking for connection. He wants you to see him fully, the good and the imperfect, because his heart knows that love grows in truth, not in masks. Letting you witness his softer side is his way of saying he wants you not just in his best moments, but in all of them. He shows up when you need him most. When a man is truly falling for you, his love speaks loudest in the moments that matter. Most, when you need him. It isn't about convenience or timing, it's about presence. He shows up when you're sick, when you're overwhelmed, when life feels heavier than you can carry alone. He doesn't wait to be asked or look for excuses. He simply appears, proving that your well-being is a priority no matter what's happening in his own world. It might be as simple as bringing you soup when you're unwell, sitting beside you, in silence when words won't help, or picking up the phone at midnight because he knows you need to talk. These gestures aren't dramatic, but they're powerful because they reveal commitment. A man who shows up consistently is saying with his actions what words could never fully capture. You're not alone. I've got you. What makes this stand out is how steady it feels. Anyone can be there when things are easy and fun, but it's when the days turn hard that true intentions surface. His choice to be present in those difficult times shows that his feelings aren't fleeting. They're rooted, real, and dependable. You'll feel it in the comfort of his presence, in the way he steadies you without needing to fix everything, simply by being there. That kind of reliability doesn't come from obligation, it comes from love. And often you'll realize that his strongest declaration isn't "I love you," but the quiet consistency of showing up over and over, exactly when you need him most.